All right, well, it looks like AIDS is trending on Twitter right now. AIDS. What can possibly be going on with AIDS that hasn't been going on for a long time? Elton John and Axl Rose both have AIDS. Mary Jane Rathbun, AIDS. Yeah, it looks like everyone has AIDS. It's making it trend. Well, anyways, welcome to the, what is this, the Trash Rats podcast? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I love that. Woo.
All right.
Or Trash Rats International, you know, maybe we want to expand our boundaries a little bit.
Of course, of course. I am your host, Rusty Cage, joined as always by Simeon Jimmy.
Oh, hey, Jimmy. Everybody. So nice to be back here in the Trash Rat studio.
And, of course, Eggy Eggman Rodriguez.
Ay, 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 amigos. Shout out to all my international contractors of HIV. Much love to the whole world. Power to the people. Special
I don't know
from the day I was born, so I think so.
Yeah, Rusty, we left him in charge of all the topics tonight, and he says he's got some really interesting, good stuff about the future of our country and really the world at large. So, Rusty, what was really on the top of your mind?
The real Dr. Fauci. I think it was a New York Times bestseller.
And is he the dude who's, is he the one who's going off saying that the CIA like killed JFK and he's going to become president and expose it all?
Yes.
That's a good way to get murdered by the CIA, I think.
Yeah. So it does seem weird because both his father, who was Robert, is his uncle, were both, you know, kind of killed under very suspicious circumstances. And this was all potentially due to the fact that JFK was fucking around against some overseas operations, mainly in Cuba. After the Bay of Pigs, he didn't really want to go for war against the CIA. Unfortunately for him, under completely different circumstances, I guess, his head exploded.
That you're talking about, that you're reading, if he really goes into detail on like what he thinks happened.
If he's railing against it publicly, he's constantly talking about how he's running on the platform of I am going to abolish the CIA and regulating big pharma, which that's fucking got my vote. I'm not right. Yeah, and also a Canadian felon. So that's, you know.
Are you going to show up to the voting booth to the 80-year-old women that are?
They talk about how it's so important and whatnot. I don't really have a stance on it because it's still. I don't know. I'm not fully educated on.
Hey, whatever takes power away from California is good with me.
Joe Biden's like, oh, that's in my nice big open car down this Dallas, Texas road. Nothing suspicious at all, but I wouldn't look over there if I were you. Just
DM challenging me to a fight.
Wait, who's challenging you?
I don't really know what I should him. Is that the other boxing thing?
Maybe.
That isn't?
I thought Mayhem was like a metal band.
Oh,
I thought it was a comic book store name.
Sorry, Misfits.
Oh, okay.
Misfits Boxing. So he's,
yeah, that's who did the Wings of Redemption fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. So he's got a thing with Misfits, and I guess the person that he was boxing dropped out, and so he asked me if I wanted to box him.
So you might actually get to go do a legit thing that has like sponsorships and stuff. See, I was here coming to challenge you, Rusty, just for a friendly spar. Because after watching the Wings and Boogie fight, you know, I feel like boxing can't be that hard if these big fat gentlemen can go in the ring and, you know, bout it out. And
you know, I did see a reply to one of my tweets just saying, Simeon Jimmy will beat your ass. And I was like, that's a weird and out of context thing to say.
Well, yeah,
right.
Eggy and I were doing a stream last night, and I was saying how I want to box you legit since we've been talking about it for about 3 years. And I said, okay, everybody, go tweet at Rusty Cage. Tell him I'm coming for him. I'm ready for the fight. And it sounds like literally only one person went through with my request. So shout out to that guy.
All right, so should we try a round 2 of boxing at some point?
Yeah, since the first one, Emplemon, he bumped the flash drive with his knee and we lost all the footage.
Yeah, he just bought, like, he was trying to do a video on the world's most powerful magnet, and then he just fucking fried everything.
He spent like 40 hours writing a very aesthetic monologue, putting all this video together with some summoning salt intro music, and then after he exhausted himself, he accidentally, in his daze, he just knocked that flash drive around and scrambled it all up.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
Well, Rusty, I want us to actually do this legit, like not just in your backyard like we were planning, but if we can, you know, rent out a ring somewhere in Gainesville and get the proper equipment and all that, I'm willing to train up for months or however long it takes to get fit. I am kind of fat and, you know, lazy and disgusting at the moment. Every shirt I wear makes me look like Santa Claus with my belly poking out. So I'm ready to have a reason to commit to, you know, getting healthy and fit and beating the fuck out of you.
Okay.
What are your
All
thoughts?
Right. Well, so I really like the idea of boxing for the sake of having to get in shape.
Right.
Because that would be tight. I was talking to Chris Raygun leading up to the Creator Clash, and he was talking about like just all the training that went into it. But he's like, I'm in the best shape of my life, but I have to eat a fucking shit ton and just constantly be working out just to, I don't know, put on mass and whatnot. It seems like a pain in the ass. Like you really got to put your main focus into it. It would be
hey, just to alleviate any worries, Rusty, I will definitely not be working that hard at it. I was thinking of like maybe doing 10 push-ups a day. I don't know about all what he's going on with, but
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't really want to fight.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I will, but renting out a whole arena and whatnot.
Well, these idiots at home are going to pay for it, first of all.
Incel boxing.
We could do one live stream and have it paid for, so don't worry about that. But in terms of, getting punched in the face, you do have to keep in mind your opponent is me. It took me 8 swings of my fly swatter to kill a bee that came into my house. So you might be, there's nothing to worry about in terms of physical pain, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for it. And you are against judo wrestling, right? Instead.
Explain that a little bit.
Well, it's a little gayer, but
that's never stopped me before.
It's a lot of grappling and choking people out, flipping them over and shit.
Is that what you want to do? Because I just kind of want to punch you in the face.
All right.
I mean, we could do that behind closed doors in our underwear anytime, Rusty. We don't have to film it.
That could be the bonus episode. You can put it up on Patreon and get a lot of money.
Put it on my OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this other idea that's almost the antithesis of a boxing match, which I wanted to do like a creator hot dog contest. Like,
oh yeah, that worked so well last time you put it on your channel.
Well, that only failed because of how I started the video out, but with everyone just saying fuck you to the audience. This was like right before they really solidified the profanity in the first 2 minutes of a video rule. But I don't know. I mean, I think it would be cool to have, a hot dog speed eating contest. Anyone can join, or, if you want to go for numbers, how many can you eat in 30 minutes? But the thing is, I mean, I guess that's probably harder to train for than boxing.
Well, I'm terrible at speed eating, and I will legit just choke on that wiener to death. But Aggie, I've been training him up. We've been watching these Molly Schuler videos where this woman can eat 15 pounds of food in like 3 minutes. So whoa. I think if you do that hot dog contest, Aggie, you might have this in the bag.
Yeah, I would, and depending on who my opponent is, I'd also go for boxing because, I have trained influencer boxing with the one and only Samuel Hyde once upon a time, a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got a little bit of boxing training under my belt. I got a lot of fat all around my belt because it falls over my belt. So basically, either one of these, I think I'd definitely be down for any of it.
Well, if Rusty and I are the title card, Aggie, who do you want to fight for the undercard? I think we talked about this on stream, but I don't remember.
I know people on the stream, they said, they threw out a few options. They said Nikado Avocado.
How about people we could actually get?
Vito Giswaldi, that guy that likes to watch cuties.
Yeah, that's Dick Masterson's new co-host, right?
Yeah, he's pretty obese.
Yeah, we could definitely get him. He's got nothing going on. His tweets get like fucking 10 likes. Okay, he's desperate for the attention. We'll get him for sure.
That is true.
But I don't know. Who deserves to get punched by Aggie, Rusty?
I mean, I think Nico's probably a lot easier to get than you would think.
Really? I feel like he would not answer a message from anybody.
Maybe not. But I mean, I don't know if he would. He'd probably do a boxing thing, but I don't know if he would do it with us.
What about Emp Lemon? He's pretty big.
Oh, that'd be fucking awesome.
He's got a lot of that soy protein, so he's really muscular. I think he'd probably beat me up pretty good.
That would be a good experiment. Like, Aggie is training exclusively on meat, and Emp is exclusively vegan, and who will win in boxing? The vegan training versus the carnivore?
Aggie, how tall are you?
Well, I've been measured anywhere from 5'10" to 6'2". I haven't been to the doctor in like 15 years, so I don't really know.
Do you want me to go get the tape measure right
it,
now and expose your height once and for all, Eggy?
I'm gonna be like 5'7".
Should I measure Eggy right now, Rusty? Is this worth it?
Wait, are you both in the same room?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll go get the tape measure while you guys can keep talking.
Yeah, because I'm saying this. Eggy, every time I think, like, I have a mental picture of you. You're 7 foot tall, and I don't know. Like, I'm bad with weight. I don't know, like 500 pounds, but of like not of like fat, but of just of mass. You know,
I probably have the body fat percentage of someone who weighs 500 pounds, but. Oh, I also wanted to make a joke about Nikocado boxing. I think it'll be easier to get if you're boxing his other half. You know what I'm saying? He wants to get tongue boxed, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, I've got the tape measure, Eggy.
All right, time to stand up.
So, yeah, stand on this metal part here, and we're going to figure this shit out once and for all. Yeah, tuck your toe right there. Okay. The true height of the one Eggmeister is...
8 feet. 8 feet.
I would say... with his hair, approximately 5'11". He's the king of the manlets. 1 inch short of 6 foot, according to my measure.
Yeah, well, then you have a demanding presence.
Clinically supposed of me.
And Emp Lemon's about 6 foot tall as well, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be a good fight. I mean, maybe not this... no, wait. In terms of weight, I think Emp's probably pretty up there too, right?
He's... I don't know where he's at now. He's maybe like in 240. I don't really know.
240 for fuck's sake!
This is the first time I've ever had to gain weight for any reason.
Yeah. So that'd be a good match then.
Okay, all right.
And Rusty, we're both like 5'5", right? So you know we're evenly squared.
I'm 5'4". I believe the internet still says that.
I try to tell people I'm 5'1" just so the truth is not as embarrassing.
Yeah. Wait, how tall is Rusty? The first thing I turns up when I type in how tall is Rusty Cage is a Reddit post. Can he prove he's 5'8"?
That's something you need to prove. I'm gonna ask my AI on Snapchat how tall is Rusty Cage.
In the meantime,
they have AIs on Snapchat.
Listen here, Emperor Lemon, I'm calling you out. Meat Eater versus Tree Eater. Mano a mano, Gainesville, Florida, 2023.
I wonder if you'd be down. That'd be pretty tight.
Rusty, the Snapchat AI, if you ask who is Rusty Cage, it'll give a long paragraph listing all the shit about you. I typed in who is Simeon Jimmy. It said, I do not know.
Wait, that's weird. Well, try Mumkey Jones, because that has like,
I'm scared to see what it says about Mumkey Jones, dude. I don't need to know that paragraph. But so is this actually happening then? Are we going to stop memeing and start training?
I'm not going to, not yet.
Okay.
But eventually,
that's what the people wanted to hear is a determinative not yet.
yeah. Because all right, so I got shit that I still got on my plate. Besides just finishing this fucking series, and I mean, my next goal is I want to try to make money on YouTube. Which seems like everyone can do it if they actually just put the effort into uploading really anything constantly, kind of doing the Tim Pool method.
Have you not been making YouTube money for about 13 years, Rusty?
Not real money, no. I mean, when I see how much money people can make just by actually putting out a video every 2 weeks or something, or every week, it's crazy. So
yeah, but they're not selling albums and patches and comic books and stuff.
Yeah, as a fellow Spotify streaming artist, when I saw your Spotify streaming numbers, I imagine that has to be some reasonable amount of income.
What do you think it is?
I don't remember it right now, but I feel like it was at least like 5-figure, and not just minimum, like, you know, a healthy 5-figure income.
Yeah, let's do an over/under. I want to do a guess on Rusty's annual Spotify earnings.
I think I estimated it around like 30 to 35,000.
Annual. I'm saying annual. You're probably making like 25 grand.
And what'd you say? You said 30. You said 25.
I feel like for me, because I looked at it when you posted your Wrapped earlier this winter or whatever. I feel like I guessed it around like 30 to 35,000.
Shit. Let me. I don't want to misquote it. but I think it's much higher. It's closer to, that's like my main income. I think it's closer to 70,000.
Oh, every year just on your fucking music? Oh man. And you haven't even made a good song in like a decade.
Passive income, man. That shit's fresh.
Hell yeah, dude.
Some playlist. I mean, listen, the gravy train is gonna end on that eventually once they kick me out of the. I think I'm just like on playlists, or I fell into a circuit where it works. Whoever I keep getting, the algorithm keeps saying I sound similar to, must be pulling in more people, because yeah, it's been at least 4 years since I put out an album.
Listen, Elvis died 50 years ago. Mozart's been dead for like 500 years. They're still making like $1 trillion a year. So I think you're gonna be set.
Oh yeah, music's a lot more forgiving than videos, especially now when everyone's making videos. And it's like you make something and it just dies off instantly. But for some reason, people want to listen to songs, which is great, because I'm like, fuck, I gotta make some new songs. But I'm like, wait a minute, I already have songs. They can just listen to them again if they really want.
That's right.
But I do want to make another album, so I almost forgot how to make music, though, which kind of sucks.
The Buffalo Years, Rusty in the Twilight. You're gonna be there and just have a nice picture of you at your piano in the dark light with a little bit of a bottle reflection.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Rusty, hypothetically, what month of what year should I expect to be entering the boxing ring? Because I'm down for whatever you're down for. You know, I'll fly down there and we'll go to town.
It's already May. If I finish this series by July and I start focusing on doing daily, I guess I'd have to train. If I just start doing like daily updates or something, talking about either what's on my mind or what's in the news, then I don't really have to write, so I could be training at that point.
And I mean, Rusty, just your body has been shaped by working out in the hot sun, building this guillotine, so you're probably way more in shape than you would think.
I mean, you couldn't tell by looking at me, I'll say that.
Really? I feel like going from an alcoholic who sits in bed all day to working in the sun, you've got to be at least getting some muscle tone, right?
Yeah, now I'm just a really sweaty alcoholic.
Well, listen, I can tell you as an alcoholic, I just sweat while I sleep, while I eat. Literally anything that happens, I'm sweating, so...
Should we, for now, should we mark it down for 9/11? Two manlets enter, one... Yeah, 9/11 of this year. 2 manlets enter, 1 leaves.
Virgin Fest 2,
I don't know.
The headlining boxing match. I'm sure that'll go up.
Hey, do be clear, Rusty. This is probably going to be 3 rounds of 2 minutes each, so you don't have to train that much. It's 6 minutes of just punching. You know, I feel like we could just do it right now and probably have about the same level of fight.
Yeah, all right, sure. 9/11.
Okay, so tune in, folks. Somehow, some way. 9/11, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna do it.
One year or another.
I mean, even if it was in my backyard, it would look cool.
With the guillotine in the background, like Loser gets his head chopped off?
Yeah.
Okay, we could do that. Or he gets his arms chopped off so he can't have a shitty boxing match again.
Man, I was gonna fucking say something. I forgot what it was. I thought it was gonna be good. I don't know. I'll try to remember.
It was probably super funny and insightful, and we're all lesser for not hearing it. So hopefully you get that back in your brain. Speaking of embarrassing boxers, Rusty, did you want to talk about this? I do. Now
you're saying that you haven't watched any of his recent videos?
I think the only video I've actually seen on his channel is the bad unboxing when he got my book. I only watched him in like Filthy Frank and stuff.
What about you, Eggy? Have you been keeping up with it?
I watched the Speaking on Froggy Fresh. I didn't watch the new seething that he did last night or the day before or whatever, because literally anything is worth more of my time. I've watched like 50 Geno Samuel Chris Chan videos, and I still opted to listen to the new Turkey Tom Chris Chan video while I drove to the Jimmy compound.
The treehouse.
That's right.
The 3-hour video that Turkey Tom just put out.
Hey, it's about a 3-hour drive to get here, so it worked out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all right. So, whatever. I don't really care that much about iDubbbz. Like, one thing that I'm always trying to rail against is people turning YouTubers into this weird celebrity culture, which I guess it has been for a while, but it just seems so cringy.
I want to just make one small interruption. I know you said you want to start making real YouTube money. You should completely reverse your ideas about that. You should feed into it entirely. Do a lot of soy faces and a lot of loud jump cuts and things like that, and I think you'll make more YouTube money. All right, but continue.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every time I try to do a soy face, everyone just shits on me. They're like, what the fuck is... They're like, I almost didn't click on it because of how annoying it looked. Like, all right, fine. So it doesn't work on everyone.
It only works for Mr. Beast fans.
Yeah. You have to train your audience.
So I legitimately have not seen this video that I guess he put you in his video. Can you explain what the fuck is happening? Because I'm very confused, Rusty, to be completely honest.
Okay, so Creator Clash 2, the boxing match that he, puts on with his wife Anissa, was like a month and a half ago or something like that. And
you attended?
I attended, and I didn't just attend. I kind of got a VIP pass, so that's like all the parties where all the creators are and like the back room events and whatnot.
And how much money did you blow on that?
I got that for free, just a hookup from Wang. Wang hooked me up. And it wasn't really even sure if it was going to happen, but we kind of like fandangled the people into getting the passes because the people were high. I was talking to someone and they just seemed like they were high. And I knew I was on a list, but I was like on a waiting list. And so I was just waiting there to try to get into this event. And I was like, yeah, if you could just, look up, I think Wang suggested it, and he went through this person, and they're running around going like, oh, we're so sorry. We're trying to find the person. Whatever. They end up getting us the passes. We go to an event the night before, and I see iDubbbz there. And as I'm leaving to go smoke a cigarette, and he's like, hey, Rusty. And it was kind of like, I don't know, I got this feeling like he didn't like me, and I, for some reason, felt that before, but I wasn't sure if that was in my own head. But I was like, oh, hey, man, what's up? Awesome event. Hope the fight goes well. Hey, do you know if we can leave and then come back in if I walked out of the building? He's like, I don't know. I don't know what kind of pass you got. Kind of indicating that somehow I got in here by ill means.
At this point, does he have a reason to dislike you? Have you been talking shit publicly?
It's so fucking hard to tell. They're all so sensitive. I know I've like tweeted some shit out, but it's like not been fucking hardball shit. I'm not calling him out. I haven't talked shit about Anissa or anything. I don't believe. So I don't. If he's mad at me at something, it's just that it's like oversensitive of something I might have said on Twitter once or twice
while drunk at 3 a.m. and then Rusty Cage deleted tweets, picked it up.
Yeah, or maybe he thinks I'm Sam Hyde affiliated, which apparently that's kind of
that's a big no-no for him.
Right. So I don't know. I left it open. I was like, I'm probably either overthinking it, or he might just be kind of awkward in person. He's nervous. He's got a big fight the next day. Whatever. But also I was publicly supporting Froggy Fresh during that.
Yeah, that's probably the issue.
Yeah, because, I mean,
if you're not with him, you're against him, Rusty.
Right. So apparently I made enemies by showing support for someone who
got completely fucked over by bullshit.
Right. So the next day's the fight, and I got a Froggy Fresh shirt on.
Yeah, no wonder why he's pissed.
Well, that was after.
Yeah.
It's the next day, so he didn't know. And so I'm in like, the back VIP area where all the creators hang out before they go to their seats or whatever. And Emp had made a bunch of signs that were really softball signs. They were poster boards that said things like iDubbbz is a joke police, or Froggy Fresh did nothing wrong. Things like that.
Once again, Rusty Cage is taking the fall for what Emp Lemon did. Tale as old as time.
So I was down on the floor. I was right next to where all the fighters enter, when they're like running down the aisleway before they get into the ring. And across from me were some people who got the signs that Emp made. I guess they had met up with him or something. So they're like kind of cueing to me that they're gonna hold the signs up whenever iDubbbz runs out. I was like, all right. I was like, that'd be pretty funny. So I got my camera out and I filmed it as he ran out. And I got like a sorry, am I cutting out?
No, you're good.
Oh, I got a screenshot from the video of them holding a sign that said Froggy Fresh did nothing wrong, right as iDubbbz is, you know, running past the sign. Mm-hmm. And I tweeted it out. I just said, uh-oh.
iDubbbz, bros, not like this.
Yeah, and, you know, I didn't put any commentary on there. And also, it's like, fucking who cares? Whatever. So then after the fight, the next day, there was a party where all these, you know, fake YouTube celebrities toot their own horns about how cool they are, and they all dress up and whatever, circle jerk. And so I was there. It was a little awkward. I met up with a couple cool people. Dave from Cyanide and Happiness, he was there. He was really chill. And then I was going to the bar to get a drink, and Anissa comes up to me, and she's like, hey, I just want to let you know that like what you tweeted out was really not cool. And I was like,
so she's joke policing your tweet about calling them the joke police?
I really wish that it was the joke police one, because that would have been the lamest shit. So I was like, what tweet are you talking about? Because I had also tweeted something kind of offensive about Abelina Sabrina. Do you know who that is?
No.
My name is Rusty Cage, and when I was thinking about people who did nothing wrong, I thought about some other people I want to talk about in this long 20-paragraph tweet.
She's got a lot of tattoos. She might be a neo-Nazi, Eggy. I'm not too sure. I haven't talked to her myself.
Traditional American, that's a yikes for me. What about future American? Because it's beautiful.
Abelina Sabrina was Gus Johnson's girlfriend.
He was the one that did the unsanctioned boxing match against her.
Oh, yeah, Gus Johnson beat his girlfriend?
Well, what was it, Eggy? I don't really remember.
I get confused because there's so many of these guys that all end up with the same thing. Because there was that one guy, Chad, whatever his name was, that he like left his girlfriend to play World of Warcraft while she was giving birth. I mean, we've all been there, but no, I think, yeah, I don't know. It was some kind of abuse in gas. I mean, now I know the term gets thrown around a lot, but she was like,
right.
You know, I think maybe we should have a healthier relationship, and he like started doing like a Joker monologue. He might have thrown her through a table. I'm not sure. That's not a legally binding statement. I can't remember. I wasn't on Twitter too much at that time, I don't think. But anyways, I think he actually did something that was pretty wild to her, because he like went totally dark afterwards.
Yeah, to be fair, though, Gus Johnson has given the world hundreds of incredibly unfunny 20-second videos, so I think he's earned the right to treat his girlfriend any way he wants.
And I think Gus Johnson had the greasy, homeless 1970s pedophile look before iDubbbz did, so there might be something about that look that we should be looking out for. But anyway,
well, he's angry that he's not with a child. That's why he's taking it out on these women.
You turned 18, time to
die. Satire, of course. What do you say, Rusty?
Oh, right. So yeah, so whatever the quote-unquote abuse is, because I don't know what it is either, and I'm not really remarking on it.
She probably had it coming. Let's all agree on that.
It was like
even Gus would agree with that.
Yes, he would. So she was one of the boxers in the event, and she was getting her ass whooped, and I was like, Sabrina hasn't taken this much abuse since she was with Gus.
Oh, that's gold.
That's why whenever what's her name? Anissa. Whenever Anissa came up to me and was like, that tweet was not cool, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, yeah, I guess that was a little bit, whatever. That maybe a little bit too far. So I asked, I was like, what tweet? And then she was like, the one that said Froggy Fresh did nothing wrong. I was like, fucking what? Like that.
She's more offended by that than by like the domestic abuse tweet.
Yeah. And so, in the situation, I was kind of taken off guard. I'm in line. I'm about to order. That's the thing. And then she comes up to me. I'm like, I'm sorry. Pretty much in that tone, because it wasn't like, I'm so sorry. It was just like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't really know how to respond to it. Sorry that my lame tweet really fucking offended you. So she's like, I just want to say it's really not cool. And then walked away. I turned to the bartender she's looking at me, and then we just kind of both shrug, and I continue to get my tequila.
He said, "Is this homeless woman harassing you, sir?" And he said, "No, I'm all right."
She's asking me for heroin.
So I was Brandon Buckingham he came over to my place after Creator Clash, and for some reason he wanted to do this interview at like 4:30 in the morning. So I'm fucking trashed in the tent, and you know, just kind of telling that story, whatever. A few weeks go by, and Brandon Buckingham releases his video, and you know, more weeks go by, and then I'm out doing yard work, and my phone's blowing up. Everyone's texting me. They're like, "You're in a fucking iDubbbz video." I'm going, why? How? You know, what did I possibly do that I'd be in an iDubbbz video? And this first video is him just calling Froggy Fresh a lying piece of shit, and just kind of scorched earth defense, backpedaling, defending his own actions. He's admitting that he did kick him off the card because he was associated with Sam Hyde and not all the other vagaries that were happening. It's a lot of history being rewritten to shine a light on him and Anissa. It didn't look good. People, obviously, not enough time had passed for people's memories to have been wiped. And so that video was very disliked.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest things from the very beginning has been if you play the game of guilt by association, that you're better off in the guillotine. Like, you're just a big retard. You have no common sense or logic in your brain. Somebody being friends with somebody else does not mean anything, and get fucked.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't make any sense because, I mean, obviously, people have a lot of nuance, and creators, collaboration is a huge thing. And obviously, when you get egos involved, it gets pathetic. And we
might be dealing with some of the biggest egos online right here.
Yes, that's what it seemed like to me, especially Anissa. And I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know iDubbbz. I don't know Ian. And I really don't know Anissa. So it's like, it's hard to say what they're like as actual people, or if they're just completely fucking lost.
Well, she earns money by posting nude photos, so I don't. What she does as a person is probably not too much. I mean, has she had a real job in her life? Probably tattoo artist,
boxing, I guess. I don't know.
I think she was. I think she streamed just chatting on Twitch before she got all tattooed, plastic surgery, and started selling pictures of her booty cheeks for a couple dollars.
She got a lot of followers doing that.
I think none. I feel like her her personality and her body have both in common that they're similar to a refrigerator.
Yeah,
they're both cold and unappealing.
Exactly. And covered in ugly magnets.
And square.
Yeah.
Square. Very frigid. Yeah, so you know, that's why it's like I don't really I try not to hold hate in my heart or pass judgment on others, especially. You know, I don't want.
I'll do it twice as much on your behalf.
Okay, all right, I appreciate it. But you know, before she approached me, I was going to go up to iDubbbz because I saw him at the event, and I was like, I wanted to, whatever this bad air that seemed like it was between us, I was just gonna go up there and be like, hey man, I don't know if there's a problem or something between us, but you know, I appreciate this event. I think it's a good thing that you put on. Whatever. He was talking to someone, so my plan was I was right about to do that after I got my drink, and then you know, Anissa got to me first. I was like, all right, fuck that, I'm not hanging out with these people.
And what was the context of him putting you in the video? Because I honestly did not watch it.
So, all right, so I'm trying to remember the whole video, but yeah, it's him shitting on everyone, pretty much saying how everyone's like so viciously attacking him and attacking Anissa, and talking about like, attacking his masculinity and things like that. At the end of the video, it's no commentary. It's just a clip of me and Brandon Buckingham's video where I was recounting that same story about, you know, Anissa coming up to me. And then I apologize, but I was like, I don't know why I apologize. And then it cuts to a clip of Froggy Fresh saying, masculinity totally removed by Anissa. So it was a dig at me. I guess they were saying
what?
I got totally gotten demasculated or emasculated or whatever by Anissa.
That's a stretch and a half. I don't even understand what he thought he was doing there.
It seemed like something that she probably forced him to put in, but yeah, I definitely didn't really get the like I wasn't offended by it because it was just confusing. It's like, what the fuck was the point of that?
Yeah.
Are they?
Why is he like he's attacking Rusty Cage out of nowhere when you have nothing to do with any of this?
You know, I think I know
apologizing.
I think I see the reason here. I'm reading between the lines. So when he walked out and he caught that sign out of the corner of his eye, he instantly crumbled. He's a very fragile man, it seems like these days. So he saw Froggy Fresh did nothing wrong. Instantly in the pit of his gut, it was like watching a live leak video in his mind. He just saw himself getting absolutely crumpled by this guy that I don't even remember who it was. And then, you know, it harmed him greatly. He took that terrible loss. Anissa was mocking him while he was sobbing after the post-fight thing. And then, you know, finally he wipes all the tears and blood out of his eyes. He logs on Twitter. #1 recommended tweet is Rusty Cage tweeting out, "Hey, look at this loser about to lose like he always loses, haha." And Anissa probably
15,000 retweets.
And all of Anissa's burner accounts that only he knows about were retweeting it and clicking like on it because she secretly found it very satisfactory because she likes to humiliate him.
Yeah, she's wanted an excuse to go up and sniff you in person, so she started bitching.
She needed that alpha male pheromone.
That's another thing too, is like that tweet really didn't blow up. I think it got like 2,000 likes. So that proves to me, and especially since I didn't tag anyone in it, that either someone sent it to him or they just had feelers out.
Does he follow you on Twitter?
No.
So what the fuck? That's embarrassing as fuck. You're complaining about a tweet from somebody you don't follow. He's clearly just like looking himself up all the time, obsessively looking up anything about himself if he saw your tweet.
I really don't want to blame it on him because I don't know him, and I still feel like there's some redemption. I have seen women change men, and I have seen weak men become weaker, and sometimes weak men present themselves as, you know, stronger or funnier than they are, but that's a coping mechanism. So the old iDubbbz really could have just been him coping. Now he can pick on people online because it's a lot easier, but
I have seen 400-pound chili addicts travel across the entire world to punch old men in the face.
Yeah, and it redeemed him, in my eyes at least. So basically, the moral of the story is we all agree iDubbbz is a cuck.
Well, so hold on. So that was that video, and then it was really unnecessary. It seemed odd because it was so long after the event. People had already settled down and forgot about it.
Yeah, how are you living rent-free in this dude's head? He's clearly been obsessed with you if he's thinking about it weeks later. Fuck.
I swear it was her because there's just no point in this. It was just like, oh, throw that clip in. I don't fucking know. But then he came out with a video, what, yesterday or something, where it's him essentially just excommunicating his old internet presence, saying how he's changed, how everything he did in the past was wrong, and he's sorry to Tanya Montague, whatever, for saying the N-word around her, even though she said it several times herself, as he exemplified.
He's apologizing to a white person for saying the N-word.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
What a fucking idiot.
He says, I probably can't say this word because I don't really have the. He says the NF word,
right?
Everyone schmigger schmag it,
right?
And he was saying, you know, I am monetizing this video and I'm donating all the money to a charity of people who were hurt the worst by it. And unless this was a fucking troll, that charity was.
Black trans people?
Yeah, black trans
people. So schmigger schmaggots. Basically, that's what he's saying. I'm gonna give this money to schmigger schmaggots.
I don't know.
Wow, like, iDubbbz.
It seemed like
that's fucked.
He said, listen, I just auditioned for RuPaul's Drag Race, and I showed up to the audition, and I gave him all a bag of money. I said, I love what you do. I want to star in the next season. If you need a pair of cheeks in the dressing room to relieve stress on, you know, I'll just stick my head in the wall.
Or you can borrow Anissa. She's pretty cheap.
So, yeah, so think what you want. You know, he unlisted all the content cops, so that's just the end of that era. Honestly, I was never really a big iDubbbz fan because that was kind of when I was, you know, focusing a lot on YouTube, and so I wasn't really paying attention to other people, their content, except for Yours Monkey.
Oh, of course, of course. So he's committing the two ultimate sins in my mind: guilt by association and apologizing for attempting to make people laugh. Like he thinks he's like this big martyr. He committed this egregious sin. Of 8 years ago, he tried to make people laugh. He tried to inspire mirth into the world, and now he's so sorry for it.
I know I'm gonna be misquoting him, but he said something that was so fucking like cringe and self-obsessed. He was saying like he's turning against the culture that he created, and it's like. Is he saying that he created internet edgy culture?
Let's just be honest. Filthy Frank was really the real heavy hitter, and he's just been just successful because people actually have things to like about him. You know, once iDubbbz couldn't, you know, just go walk around and go up into random internet thoughty faces anymore and be like, say the bad word.
The schmigger schmaggot.
Yeah, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe Filthy Frank didn't do anything that was that egregious, but
he was willing to get dirty. He'll vomit into cake batter and eat it. That's the kind of stuff I want to watch. I don't need to see some edgelord shouting bad words in public.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, did Filthy Frank do anything that he would really have to apologize for? I don't remember.
Nobody should have to apologize for any of this shit.
No, I know. But I mean,
that was your mistake, Rusty, was apologizing.
I know. I wish I could have instantly. It's called stairway wit or staircase wit. It's whenever you get insulted at the bottom of the stairs, you walk all the way to the top, and then you realize the perfect response. It comes to you a little bit too late.
Well,
so
I would say, now that I understand the full context of this, I mean, when you're like, if I'm drinking in a tent at 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's supposed to be like my grand statement against some extremely narcissistic, self-obsessed woman that nobody likes, I mean, basically, I mean, yeah, I would say iDubbbz is lucky that you're just like, well, I mean, you took the interaction so minimally because it was so nonchalant to you and just so kind of just jarring, like, you know, with a little bit of thought behind it, I probably would have been like, here's my laundry list that rolls out about 10 miles long about everything that I really just want to take all my frustrations about my inadequacies on life on this very dislikable woman. You know, then he would have probably had something to really complain about. But
oh, Eggy, I was worried when I got that text from Brandon. He's like, hey, he used some clips. Or no, I was worried whenever Brandon put that interview in the video because I was like, fuck. Imagine all the other shit that I did say. Because I was going ham because I was like, this is funny. Let me just really do exactly what you were saying.
That's right.
And I'm very glad that he cut it out because it was unfocused words.
Release the Brandon cut.
Oh, yeah. I'll ask him. I'll see if he still has it.
Let's see if we can redeem Rusty with some real hatred spewing from his mouth. Well, Rusty, is that the end of this whole diatribe here? Or is there a little bit more?
No, yeah, that's the end of it.
Okay, should we move on to some questions? And people have some burning questions for us.
Hell yeah. Hey, you mind if I go and take a shot?
Oh, take 2 shots, Rusty.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Should we go get some shots as well, Aggie?
I'm going to take a leak real quick. You can prepare something if you want.
Yeah, I'll go get the shot glass for us.
Cool. Emp came out with a video recently bitching about the Airbnb that we stayed in while we were at Creator Clash.
Yeah, did you get charged some sort of big fee for that?
Yeah. They were asking to charge me $475 for supposedly breaking a TV that I'd never even fucking touched. It was in my room, and there was no plug to even plug it in. So I was like, all right, whatever. We're only in the room to sleep, but we're not hanging out there. And they're saying, yeah, you broke a TV. And I was like, no, fuck that. I did not break a TV. Never even touched the TV. And they end up charging me today for $200.
What the fuck? Can you fight that shit?
I try to appeal it. But you sign up and you say you agree that they can charge you after they figure out the appeal.
Well, then fuck this. Let's just open a bunch of Airbnbs and lie about them breaking shit and charge them out the ass. Oh, you signed the contract, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, my money now.
Yeah, put a bunch of broken shit in there.
Yeah, what the fuck? So who are you gonna blame, Emp? You gonna beat the shit out of Emp Lemon?
I mean,
he probably stuffed a bunch of vegan Taco Bell in the VCR.
Hey, you want to know the real truth? I'm not going to say who it was. It was not me. It was not any of the guests of the house. But somebody who visited the house was backing up their car and completely wiped out their mailbox.
Oh my god!
It's not.
It was like made of. It was like a stone or metal.
GB Bumkey.
Oh, Cumby did it?
No, it wasn't. It was
it somebody I know?
He was in the car. Someone you know was in the car, and I like to blame them because it's funny, but it was I keep it doesn't matter.
Everyone who's watching this video, drop your belief of who it was in the comments below. Let's get this engagement up. Who was the man that owes Rusty $200?
Okay, pause it. Go post it. Okay, now that we're back, okay, what's the answer, Rusty?
Oh, I'm not going to say who it is. But I'm saying.
No, if you say, I'll cut it out. I'll beep it out. You can say it. You can trust me.
Okay. I enjoy saying that it was Bedhead Bernie, but it wasn't. It was. You're actually going to bleep it out?
Yeah.
I don't know this guy very well, so. I don't know. So many.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who that is.
That's the guy that's going to make the documentary about me. Bleep that part out too, yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay, I'll cut all this shit out then.
Better put some timestamps.
I listened to the whole thing back when I edit, Rusty. I'm a professional.
That is fucking gay. All right.
Gay? I cut out our fucking shot break and Eggy took a big piss.
I'll tell you, Rusty, whatever money I get from when he's making this documentary about me and however much money that I get from as a result of that exposure, I'll pay on his behalf.
Well, that's the thing is if they were charging me for the mailbox, then I could have just got the money from him. Because he's like, hey, man, I'm sorry about that. I'll pay you whatever they charge you. I was like, all right, cool. But then it wasn't. It was something completely different that I had no association with.
Did he back his car into the TV?
I guess so. I mean, so I could lie to him and say that I did get charged for that, but whatever.
Well, everyone who's ever made a video about me and makes like 10 million views between that one guy who I can't remember what his name was, and then Primink, the guy who made Q-Star and Primink both made buku bucks off of my image, so I'm sure he's gonna make a lot of money off that video.
Why are we not making the official Eggy documentary, Eggy? Like, we can make an actual feature film and get it from the source himself, the horse's mouth or whatever the fuck. Have you ever thought about doing that, Eggy? Just fuck these YouTubers trying to leech off of you like me and Rusty. Why don't you fucking do it yourself and we'll help you make it?
Maybe.
You know? Fuck these people. Anyway,
they're going to make it seem like you're very elusive and a mystery in real life, yet you have a podcast that, you know, you can hear you talk for hours on end.
Yeah, very like open and honest about everything in his life.
Yeah, well, when I do like an 8-hour stream, I drop like one unknown truth nugget about my life at some point, like 6 hours in after I've been drinking, so only the real fans know about it.
Yeah, so these YouTubers, unless they're watching all 5,000 hours of Eggy live streaming, they're not getting the hot scoop. Don't watch their dumbass videos. Wait for the one that we're going to make 10 years from now about the real Eggy story, unveiled. You ready for some questions, Rusty?
I've been ready.
Okay. Heart of 115 has a request that I also have. Can we get Rusty and Eggy collaborating on a song?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with that. Last time I brought it up to Eggy, he said, fuck nah, he's kind of got his own thing going.
Did you really, Eggy? You projected Rusty? What the fuck?
He doesn't do well working with artists like in cross genres. I was like, well, kind of do the same.
Well, I think he only wants to work with talented people. That's what he told me.
He told me that as well.
I'm pretty sure I don't really remember that exchange. I remember you sent me that unlisted SoundCloud stuff you had working. That's really last time. Now, I was a severe alcoholic for many months around that time, so it's very possible I was like, "Fuck you, Rusty. I'm the boss." But I don't remember.
That doesn't seem like like Eggy at all. I can't even imagine.
It seemed like you were down. I mean, I'm still down to do something. I brought up another song idea whenever you were visiting, and you're just kind of freestyling, not a rap, but like freestyling it seemed like it was an acoustic song.
Well, yeah, you know, I just had a very successful acoustic freestyle called My Goon Cave. It's done like 1,000 views on YouTube since Wednesday.
Or what about last episode when you did the ChatGPT knife game song? That was pretty good.
Oh, I completely forgot to make that.
I think we made it on the show.
It's a hotter topic now than ever. They got AI legislation going through in the House and stuff.
Really?
It could fit perfectly.
Oh,
you could incorporate that into your guillotine plus politics plus AI. You got a treasure trove right now.
That's what I'm working on with the next video in the series, is completely making an AI version of myself.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got a buddy who knows that shit better than I do, and he's like asked me to take a bunch of weird pictures Oddly enough, you know, he says for machine learning.
Can you have one when you got the lip spread and you got the cheek spread for me and bent over around the counter?
Little kissy 4K. Face.
You need to shave your ass. There's too much hair on your ass, bros.
I was like, no, I just, you know, if we could just do this, you know, chest up, that would be great. But no, he had me do the whole shebang.
Oh, so what's your guys' collab song gonna be about? Killing the politicians?
No,
well, I like the idea of, and I probably can't do this, but of finding an actual person, some just vague person online who actually exists who has severe schizophrenia.
Oh, I know plenty.
Yeah, well, like someone that we don't know, and then
well, they don't know me like that. I mean, I know that they exist, and I could persuade them into a white van that we rent.
Yeah, well, if you know, find out everything about their life and then make the song a song on its own, but then it has all these subtle hints in it that tell them that they need to you know, like shoot up a
yeah, I think you've been talking about this. I feel like the first time I met you and I went to your house like fucking 5 or 6 years ago, it must have been, I feel like you had the same idea where you want to make a song that is like gang stalking one specific like sleeper cell person and like convincing them to do something bad.
Listen, I mean, if my knowledge is any experience, it's pretty easy to implant ideas into their minds. You just got, I mean, there is a certain way to go about it, but you used to be like, oh, remember we just walked across the bridge yesterday? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, they took it away from you? What? No, they made you forget? No, we were just on the bridge, remember? And we had that box? Oh, you had the box.
The gaslighting song?
Remember? No.
Just whatever this whole song should be their sleeper cell awakening phrase.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, C4 in their company. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Accelerate until you entry. Now you're in the hotel lobby and you say it's gonna be a redacted.
And then Rusty's in the background with his rubber chicken squeezing it to the beat. There you go. Song has just been written. Okay, next question, Rusty. In a fight, do you think you and me, tag team, working together, could defeat Eggy? And that is a question from Sir Red Edge. I think we probably would stand a good fight, but I don't know if we could take him.
Again, in my head, Eggy is an impossibly indestructible person.
I've never seen him feel external pain, only internal from food.
But then even the internal pain, it seems like with a grain of salt, especially with the Play-Doh. I think we could. I'd like to say we could, but I feel like it'd be difficult because, like, Eggy, if I was trying to choke you out from the back,
okay,
like armbar, choke you out, and you know I kind of got like noodle arms. Do you think that would even be possible?
I do have some grappling training also, so I know there are holds that are very hard to break. So if you're trained in grappling and you get me in the right way, I'm sure you probably could get a. But I don't know. I feel like I could maybe flip you over my head though too. It just you gotta get a good grip. But I will say, so I box training with Sam Hyde before. And he did land a body shot to me that bruised my ribs, and I couldn't sleep for like 5 days afterwards.
Wow.
You mentioned that. That sounded fucking rough. Like he just full on punched you as hard as he could.
Well, no, it was really, I was going like really reckless style. So he wasn't really putting like his whole stuff into it, but he was just kind of coming at me, and he just had more reach than me. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna hit him if I don't, you know, take a chance. So I took that chance, and I pretty much ended up just having his jab drive right into my ribs.
Fuck.
And I just went right to the ground, like full on, like pile of clothes on the ground, just like coughing my guts. And yeah, I couldn't. It was hard for me to sleep for like a week.
So let's aim for like his kidneys or something, because clearly he has weak spots on him, Rusty.
Yeah, my liver's probably a little beat up after the way I live. So you know, if you know where to head.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm worried about boxing too. Is like a fucking bad body shot. You know, I'd have to do my my month of sobriety, at least leading up to.
Well, in my fantasy, I'm only punching you in the face, Rusty. So I'll avoid the liver if you want me to. You know, I'll be a fair fighter.
I'll take it. If I die, I die. I'll die like Houdini.
Yeah, are we gonna have to sign a contract or some sort of, make sure that we're not responsible for each other's liability?
Probably, but I mean, that's all that fucking Hollywood shit.
Yeah, we're real men, we have a verbal contract. It's called "Please punch me as hard as you can. I don't care," and I think that's legally binding.
Like, I'm from a fucking swamp. You're from a farm. Whatever. It's all same shit.
It's all flyover country.
All lawyers should be executed. So,
if only somebody would build some sort of contraption in their backyard to fulfill that destiny. We have a question from Anuki Bro. Did Rusty buy cocaine off the guy that was involved in a hit and run that resulted in the casualty? And was the cocaine good?
No, I don't do cocaine. It doesn't really affect me very much. Do you have like just a lack of sensitivity to caffeine in general and stuff? So getting all pepped up does not really work on you? Well, I thought about that because if I drink coffee, it just makes me tired. And
same thing with me, dude.
It's weird, yeah. And every time I've done coke in the past, like I see people going crazy for it, especially in Gainesville. It's like everyone. I've seen, good girls get addicted and turn into fucking coke whores and shit like this. And I'm like, what the fuck is the big deal with coke? It's not even that great. Every time I do it, I just kind of feel differently drunk. Or I end up doing something very unfun for a long time, like hanging out with a buddy and playing with yo-yos until it's fucking 8 a.m. and I'm like, God damn, what a stupid thing.
Who could get addicted to this dumb shit?
There's there's a lot more better drugs out there.
Can we get a tier list of like your favorite drugs from top to bottom?
I can't do it anymore because I feel like I just kind of got burned out on it. But I remember Molly was really tight. That's kind of MDMA. But I don't know. I don't do that many drugs.
What about an empty bag that used to be full of mushrooms until Eggy and Mumkey got to it? Where would you put that on the tier list?
I still haven't had a good mushroom trip. I haven't had enough all at once where I was like, oh shit, I'm fucking tripping on mushrooms.
Yeah, me and Eggy fucked up by microdosing, and then it wouldn't work on us anymore.
Did you feel anything?
Yeah, that podcast, the 6-man episode of Sodi, I'm pretty sure me and Eggy were both at least a little tripping on that podcast. I can't speak for Eggy, of course, but
when I was I was telling Mumkey about this. There's a guy that owes me $400 still because he had me Uber from JFK Airport to the coastline at the top of New York State. Go to this party. He was supposed to pick me up, but I had a $400 Uber Black. Anyway, I got up there. And he did NFTs and drugs. Those were his two things, which I'm pretty sure is a typical combination for anybody that does NFTs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had met up with this guy before, maybe about 6 months prior to this meeting, and we had done mushrooms at that time, and I felt like I was Jesus Christ in the Nazareth desert because we were at this like dump. He was like living in some dump, and the yard was all dried out. It was just like dusty dirt, and he had like this big fire pit, and we were all supposed to trip together, but these guys, I don't know, they had some mob stuff or whatever they were doing. They all like left in a big Hummer truck, and so I was in this backyard just walking around the big fire pit in the dust, and I felt like I was Jesus Christ walking through the desert. That was pretty cool.
Dang,
but
man,
anyways,
so Rusty had some bunk mushrooms.
When I was in the when I went up to New York State later on that year, they had, because they were traveling across countries to do crypto deals or whatever, so they had ground the mushrooms down into like pill capsules, like vitamin capsules that got off Amazon. So they had like this mushroom concentrate. I took one of those, and I lit like everybody always says this stuff. Oh, I'm hallucinating. I see animals floating in the sky, whatever. This like really stupid stuff. But I was walking around by the ocean, by the beaches, by the ocean. We were up by, it was like this really fancy spot. You know, they had rented some vacation house up there with their crypto money. That's where we're at. So it's this beautiful place with like the richest people. And it was just so beautiful. And all the colors of everything were intensified though. It wasn't like I was seeing things that didn't exist, but it was like all the colors of the ocean and the foliage and everything was so intense that I literally broke down and started sobbing because God's creation was so beautiful. So, yeah.
Hey, you actually unlocked a memory. I did do mushrooms and felt the effects. I didn't do them that much where I was having visual hallucinations, but I also was at the beach, and I just felt fucking great. And I just wanted to walk. It was at night. I wanted to just walk into the ocean. So I was kind of fighting the urge to just drown myself, I guess, in a complete joyous state.
So you remember that you're from Atlantis. You have Berber and Atlantean DNA, which is why you're such a musical genius. You're cut from a cloth of extinct humanoids that were of a superior species until they accidentally wiped themselves out by becoming too advanced. And now you remember you were trying to return to Atlantis, to your European roots at the bottom of the ocean, but you had to stop yourself.
Well, now that's in my head, so if I ever do mushrooms at the beach again, that's what I'm going to be thinking about.
You're going to be at the water's edge, just like sweeping the water and the sand in your palms, saying, Neptune! Neptune, hey. Come to me!
Poseidon!
Speaking of that, did Ice Poseidon not give you, me, and Glink, Eggy? Like, he just had like some mushrooms in his freezer. We were over at his apartment. And he said, "Oh, you guys like drugs? Here, you can just have my mushrooms."
That's true.
If I recall, they were also bunk. I don't recall feeling anything from that. Did it work on you, Eggy?
It wasn't the same. I'm telling you, this Australian crypto guy, he had the real deal. You know, shout out to Australia.
So if you see Ice Poseidon, let him know his drugs were not potent.
Yeah.
That's a review from Cindy and Jimmy. That was when was that?
That was last April, wasn't it?
It was whenever Everything Everywhere All at Once first was. No, it was. Yeah, it was when we saw Morbius. So yeah, April.
Yep.
Because that came out on April Fool's Day.
Oh, what for?
What for what?
Like, why were you all chilling with Glink and Ice?
Well, because we were, Glink was living with Kino Corner at the time, but Kino didn't want to do drugs, and when you go to Ice Poseidon's house, it's pretty much nothing but, so.
Yeah, that's right. He was super high, trading crypto, and he had like a $10,000 VR headset just so he could immerse himself in a different reality where he wasn't being attacked for being a thief.
Yeah.
But then he spent all the money that he stole, so now he's like in Indonesia or something, doing some live stream on Kick.com.
He's not still in Austin?
No, he's like he was in Japan for like 3 months.
What? He moved out of that apartment? Damn.
Maybe he still rents it. I don't know, but he's been traveling the world to make more money again.
Well, hey, I know he's been accused of stuff. I don't follow it. I don't even know what he's famous for. But you know, I met this stranger and he was kind to me. He showed me hospitality and he shared all of his drugs with me. So as far as I'm concerned, Ice Poseidon is a cool guy, and I forgive him for all of his sins.
There's no way that personality trait could be misused.
No, there's no way he would hurt anybody financially.
He says that he doesn't care if everyone dies. He only wants money, and whatever he has to hurt other people to get it, that's the only thing he cares about. I found that to be very relatable, and I think that's why he's so successful.
Is it bad to say if somebody's nice to me, then that's good enough?
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of parties, this is what I was going to say earlier. Eggy, so I went to, after that last Creator Clash, I went to the warehouse, Charlie's warehouse.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit more, they were a lot more tight on security.
Uh-huh.
You know,
after what Eggy did last time?
Well, they didn't say I talked to a few people and they're like, yeah, you know, last time some people showed up and you know, they didn't really know everyone, and you know, there were like some incidences, so they're definitely a lot. They have like a security guard out there now, and I was going, that's interesting. I can't imagine.
What was this incident? Because I didn't hear the full story.
I don't know if I don't know. If
is it not one to tell on the show?
Well, I thought.
Is it Eggy's story to tell?
I feel like it's Eggy's story to tell.
Well, I mean, I was pretty wasted. All I remember is that I was drinking his G Fuel or whatever, and I don't really remember anything else besides that. That's all. That's all
a bad sign.
That's all I had on camera was me drinking his G Fuel.
Well, so, Rusty, what happened?
Streams. You had streams that you did post, so it was on the internet. I guess that's all on the channel that was taken down, but there was a lot. Oh, fuck, man, I don't know if
Go for it, dude. Fuck it. I'll delete it if it's bad.
All right. You were saying a lot of stuff like it was hard to tell. Like you were gonna rape Charlie.
Moist Critical himself.
Yeah, and the video that you took that you were streaming, it was like you were just fucking with someone so hardcore, just like screaming nonstop, walking around like drinking straight out of like the vodka bottle, and whatever. Like, you're being a menace for sure. But it was fine whenever there was a lot of people there. But as it started getting later and later, we were trying to leave because it was clearly time. We were the last people there. So we're leaving. We're like, oh, fuck, where's Eggy? Because we thought you already left somehow. And like, I don't know with who, like Wavy, or I don't remember who was all even there. And I go back inside and I see you sitting at a powwow circle.
Okay.
And you're on one side of this circle. Moist Critical's on the other side. And the only other people are a bunch of girls.
Okay.
And it was like a battle of the harem. It felt like. And I don't remember what you were saying at that point, but
was he scaring the hoes?
It seemed like you're Charlie was holding it together pretty well. He wasn't really, being aggressive or saying like, hey, you gotta leave. Anyways, I was like, hey, like, we gotta fucking go. And you're like, no, man, I'm actually not gonna leave. Like, I'm gonna stay here. Like, I'll go home later.
I'm moving in.
Leaving. And I was like, no, we gotta leave. Like, we have to fucking leave. Because I'm not gonna leave you here. I wasn't thinking of your best interest. I was thinking of my reputation in the eyes of, my betters.
Rusty, that's called guilt by association. We've been over that.
No, you're right.
Eggy could literally rape Charlie, and I will be clean, even as his friend. I'll stand by him because you don't see me raping Charlie.
I'm just gonna say this: I don't know where these streams were going because I definitely would have heard about this from my viewers, and I didn't hear about it from my viewers. All I heard was that I might have been like holding my phone up with it like being turned off and saying these things.
Oh, no, pretending to stream.
You probably weren't saying that on stream, and I don't really that was like hearsay. Like someone else who was like, you gotta get Eggy. You weren't saying that on stream. I think on stream you were just like screaming a lot, and
that sounds about right. I mean, I do. You're
talking
a lot.
to somebody. Yeah. It was. But then when we left, or as we were leaving, then it was starting to get weird because you're like, I'm gonna get a gun. I'm gonna fucking kill all of these fucking YouTubers. Like, I'm gonna execute every
I would have
single
stood
one.
up applauding at that point. I would have helped out.
I didn't disagree with you.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I probably did feel that way for a good reason. Now, I'll be fair. I know we talk about not apologizing. You better not. This is going to be in the next Moist Critical video, so be careful.
No,
I'm well known to be very pacifistic. I think probably I was sickened by all the fake, the fraudery.
Sure.
We're all here. They're all like, we got to maintain this profitable image together.
It
is what it is, but yeah, all I know is that I don't remember anything besides making that video, and I do remember sitting in the circle with Charlie, and that he did seem terrified of me, which I later found to be a positive thing because I wanted to make sure that he was being intimidated by my alpha male energy, like King Cobra.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was also very fucking wasted. Someone had gave me a Vyvanse earlier, so it kind of woke me back up. But so my memory could also be foggy as well.
And you know what I didn't remember, because Cumby posted a picture of me like making a Higo face with a huge dildo. Now, I found that to be kind of embarrassing. Now, if I was saying I was going to commit horrible violence against a ton of innocent people, that's one thing. But
hey, they're not innocent.
But making some kind of gay face, I was like, yeah, I must have been pretty toasted. So
the horrible violence thing, like, I feel like that would have been completely acceptable at a different setting. But it was there, and I was like, man, I don't know these people, and if someone's like saying they're gonna fucking kill all of them,
the guy who has the reputation for being associated with incels and shooters and all that, you might be scared that guy's at the party spouting it off while drunk.
I was more worried about that, but that was as we were leaving, so I don't think anyone heard.
Well, Eggy, have you got those demons out of you now? Because these days I see you get wasted and you don't threaten violence on anybody.
Well, I mean, I think, let me try to think. I mean, I guess that was last year. I don't know. I was in a pretty tough spot at that point last year. I feel like getting a job again has maybe evened me out a little bit, not drinking inhuman amounts of liquor every day.
Well, that was also a different, you know, I'd never seen you like that because you didn't sleep at all for like the 3 days we were there, and this was the last, like one of the last nights. So your brain wiring had just like gone into that mode where you didn't need to sleep and you can just consume infinite amounts of alcohol.
To be fair, I was once diagnosed about 7 years ago with bipolar disorder, and it hasn't really bothered me too much. But when I get really drunk, sometimes, you know, I have been known to, because like I said, I'm a pretty chill guy, but sometimes I get that switch flipped where it's time for a lot of fist fights. It's time to start screaming, and it's time to start throwing people through windows. I don't know what exactly flips the switch, but because I black out before the switch gets flipped, so I don't really know where it happens. But
so we should get you blackout drunk on 9/11 right before your boxing match.
Yeah. I'd probably probably really terrible will happen.
It's gonna be like when Rock Lee got drunk in Naruto and started fighting Kimimaro or whatever that guy's name is, the Drunken Fist. You'll be dodging shit by accident just by swaying around, and yeah, it'll be great.
Was that a reference that you expected both me and Eggy to know?
I'm sure Eggy knows who fucking Rock Lee from Naruto is, motherfucker. It's not really an obscure reference.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a kind of.
I didn't mean to put you in a box, Eggy.
Anyway, last question, and then we can all get out of here, Rusty. Kind of a wholesome one. Mako Horror Show wants to know, what songs or videos are you most proud of?
Oh, what a fucking gay question.
That's right. After
I feel like
being super straight for the last hour, we need to end it with some homosexuality.
I feel like that's like one of the lamest questions. Like, what songs are my favorite or that I'm most proud of?
I mean, I'm sure I have videos of mine that I like better than the others.
I mean, all right. Videos is videos. I'm gonna say the ones I'm doing now. I enjoy them the most. I also really do go back, and I like the Suicide Jokes one that we collaborated on.
Right.
Just because it was so simple. It didn't really take a lot. It was just suicide jokes from a puppet and a guy with a hand up a puppet's ass.
Should we return to tradition? Should I record more puppet dialogue for you?
Oh man, I'd like to do that again. I don't even know if you can't make those jokes today.
Wasn't that kind of the whole point?
Yeah, weren't we talking about like doing that with like rape jokes or something?
We could have been. Sounds like Aggie would get involved in that. He could give us some pointers.
If we could get enough of them, then I'm sure like Norm's got some jokes and well, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I like that video. I don't know. I don't really remember all the videos. Which one I'm proud of? Song wise, I hate my own songs. I don't like the sound of my own voice or my production. So
well, at least you only have to listen to it 1,000,000 times while making the song.
Yeah, that's why I hate it. By the time it's done, I go, fuck that.
So the answer is any video he collaborated with me is the best one. Go watch those. Rusty,
oh, yeah.
I'm thinking maybe as I'm starting to make new videos for Simmy and Jimmy again, maybe I should also start posting some classic videos that have been deleted.
Easily.
Do you think I should repost Wheel of Punishment 1 and 2 like as just one big video?
Yeah, you probably could.
Because they're technically up on your channel, but my version is different, I guess.
It wouldn't take away from. I don't really get any views on them, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of good videos that you could. That I feel like they hold up. I mean, just because all the anime reviews, they're kind of timeless.
Yeah, I don't know about reposting stuff that would get taken down for copyright or for content and stuff. So I'd have to heavily edit them.
You upload your My Sick Twisted World audio.
The thing that got me taken down?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a good idea. Just try it again.
Did you see the videos? I'm sure you did at the time, but I just saw them again recently on TikTok. It was all the videos that Nick Cruz made before the day of Parkland.
When he's out in the woods?
He's just walking around recording on his cell phone, and it's just the cringiest monologues. Like, he sounds like the biggest. I don't know why I didn't use them in the video that I made about it, but I'll have to send them to you if I can find them. He's a fucking moron. He's trying to sound like the Joker. He's trying to sound as eloquent or whatever as Elliot Rodger.
Yeah, because Elliot Rodger was so eloquent and intelligent.
Well, I'm saying when you see the comparison,
yeah,
like this is like someone who's got an IQ of 60.
And that's the most famous Rusty Cage fan?
Yeah, that's the most famous Rusty Cage fan.
Well, you know, I just want to say something very often overlooked that not many people know about. So I had this infamous little song I made back in 2018 about a Manassian man who did some not so good things.
I'm running through these hoes like a
Yeah, that one. Unbeknownst to people, the week after the Parkland situation, I started making this song called "They Deserved It." Didn't end up going all the way. It only got about half done. But in retrospect, it was probably better that it didn't get released because I probably would have faced a little bit of issues about that.
Can you recall the chorus that you had in mind?
Yeah,
you gotta send that to me.
No, just do it right now.
I had it like it was basically what's a good. So there's a song by Too Short called Cocktails. It's way old. It's like 30 years old, 35 years old. And it's basically a song about like, then I met Shirley. She's my little girlie. Yeah, I gave her the twirly swirly. Then I met with Mary. She was hairy. Whatever. Something like that. But I just listed off the victims instead. I was like, me and Nick, we pulled up with a stick. Yeah. I knew that they needed this. Emma, yeah, I know that she's bald. I'm about to put her right up against the wall. Whatever it was.
Holy shit, dude, that is fucking
it was pretty gangster.
Ideas. Yeah, that's a terrible idea. It's one of those ideas that when you think of it, you gotta go like, fuck, I think I have to make that.
I just really wanted to do what was gonna hurt the most people. And you know, it's like when they put me on CBC, they're like, I think this guy's a troll. I think he's just trying to stir the most outrage. And I was like, I mean, I don't know. I guess it makes me look like a bad person when I say that, but I just knew that I could just do this and it would fill my notifications for months to come and make my life less boring.
Yeah, you would be instantly infamous, and that song would be way fucking infamous, or it'd just be completely wiped from the internet.
I think 8 years after the song came out, he'd go and make a video called "I Miss the Old Aggie." Like, that song was so inappropriate.
I thought it was funny at the time that I made that video.
I mean,
but now
I'm not gonna say too much. I'm just saying that some of these people, I think they were advantageous about the situation. I think they were opportunistic about the situation. Truly, it was a tragedy that we will feel deep sorrow about for generations to come, but I don't think people should have tried to use it to make a career for themselves off the back
you don't
of the
think
tragic
like
situation.
The kids who may or may not have even been there that day, whose fathers worked for the CIA and now they're media correspondents, you don't think that
it's a pretty good deal for that guy, whatever his name is.
What the fuck was his name? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, who cares?
It's probably best that we don't remember.
Fuck him. Fuck him, he'll get what's coming to him.
Whoa!
Is this Creator Clash
satire?
Is this the Creator Clash 1 after party out here or what?
It's all satire.
Yeah, do you want to challenge that kid to a fight for Creator Clash 3?
It's called a joke. All right, it's called a fucking joke. Has anyone not heard of
Thank
Nuance?
you, Rusty, for finding all of my Creator Clash 1 statements agreeable. Obviously, all those really attractive OnlyFans girls that were there all found it really great. One of them still messages me to this day. Nice. And actually, multiple of there's like these big. I bet if I look right now on, I don't mean to take too much more time, but I bet these like million follower people that literally followed me at that event, I bet they still are following me.
Oh, you might have to hurt your own feelings if it says unfollowed, Aggie.
Listen, you know what?
I mean, you were the life of the party. I'm gonna say that.
And he tried to be the death of the party at one point, it sounds like.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, I guess maybe that guy's not following me.
Aggie, I warned you, dude.
It's not that I don't put, or, what was her name again? Or no, yeah, hold on.
Sexy McBig Tits?
Yeah, cute bot, 100,000 followers. She still follows me. To be honest, the other guy who I clicked, he might not have ever followed me. I think I just followed him.
Is his name Moist Critical?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to make anybody else look bad by having been friendly with me. But my good friend Freddie Dredd. I think I just followed him and we talked a lot about good music. That was probably before I blacked out because I can actually remember it happening.
Wait, was Freddie Dredd there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
me
dude,
and him were rapping with because he had the Critical as the Brendan Fraser from he's got the Brendan Fraser cowboy cutout or whatever, like by the arcade machine. Yeah. And we were spitting some fresh bars. It should have been a whole album, but
maybe Freddie Dredd's tight.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get him on the collab with you two?
We should. Listen, you know what?
Dude, that'd be awesome.
It's like I said in that one video a lot of years ago. I mean, I love rap music because I grew up listening to it, but also, you know, it was there to touch on touchy subjects when Whitey wasn't ready to talk about it. Over here in the hip-hop land, we were ready to talk that truth, okay?
About those kids.
Yeah, about how they deserve to die.
Yo, how about 99 million Native American Indians and 99 million people on those slave ships, and we're, you know, that's all I'm saying, okay? We need more reparations, that's all I'm saying.
Well, while those kids, you know, they're making careers in media off the tragedy and deaths of their schoolmates, Whitey's on the moon.
In the ghetto, we don't even have vegetables at the grocery store. Come on, let's get it figured out, Joe Biden.
Well, I think we've covered, you know, a lot of topics here today. I think the people at home have certainly learned a lot of information about the world. Rusty, do you have anything you want to plug or any last things you want to hit on real quick?
I mean, no, I think I covered everything. AIDS is still trending. I'm making this new video now that you did a voice for, so that should be...
Oh, boy.
That should be all right. It's kind of like the intermediate video before the final finale of the Guillotine series where I cut my own head off on a live stream.
Is it going to be called Rusty's Final Solution when you upload that last Guillotine video?
I have to think of something like that.
If I was going to make a video reviewing your comic book, Rusty, should I hold off until the next installment, or should I just go for it?
Yeah, you could just go for it. I mean, it's going to be a while before I get back to that.
Okay.
Like, I'll probably start on... probably next year I'll take to get the 4th.
Can you believe that I donated to the GoFundMe for Volume 1 back when the Mumkey Jones YouTube channel was fucking thriving? It's been that long. How many issues have come out? 3?
3. It's definitely the least... it's...
The lowest priority in your life?
No, it's not the lowest priority. It's just like it takes the most work. It is the most ambitious project because it's a fucking series. They should have all just been one-offs. But I'm going to get it done eventually and before I die. And hopefully by the time I finish it, it'll actually be good and not just some like amateur comic shit.
Well, okay. Everybody stay tuned for this video that I'm going to appear in on Rusty's channel coming out. Are we going to meet back here in a month or two for more trash ratting?
I'm always down.
All right. Eggy, you down?
Absolutely. And you know what? With really good and non-criminal conversation on my part. Compared to the time of Creator Clash 1, I'm literally, not even joking, I'm probably consuming about 90 to 95% less alcohol since I've actually had a job that I can't just be drunk all day about. And I think it's good. I think it's, you know, say what you will about being a wagey, but I think that my mind was starting to collapse in on itself. I think I was deeply just
disturbed.
I was going to a dark place. You know, maybe I was treading too close to sicko territory. I needed to watch more King Cobra and work a real job, which I have been doing, and now my life is really redemptioned, and I feel good about that.
Well, I would like to, you know, take the praise myself. I think Eggy turned his life around after he met me, and I usually have a really good influence on people, and people feel like their lives have been enriched and embettered after associating with me. So, again, all credit goes to Mumkey Jones on this one.
You are to Eggy what Idub says Anissa is to him.
I'm the one who destroyed him and ruined him for everybody.
You bettered him.
Yeah, can't even call her a Yoko Ono because she's not even breaking up the band. She's like broke his mind.
Yeah, she's Yoko Hypno. She got Sissy Hypno.
Yeah, she's way worse. Anyway, we've been going on way longer than we should have. So thanks for tuning into Trash Rats, folks. We'll see you next time.
Peace out, gamers.